So the Canadians have actually never won a tournament on the FIVB World Tour. They've come second once. That was in Yokohama back in 2015. They lost to Alisson and Bruno, the team they beat yesterday. So they come into this quarterfinal on a high, having beaten the reigning world champions, the defending Olympic champions and the World Tour champions. So they will feel they've got every chance against this Brazilian side. They are unbeaten in the tournament, the Canadians. The Brazilians lost their last pool match to the Mexicans Ontiveros and Verguin. But here are the officials. The first referee from Colombia, Juan Carlos Saavedra Caceres, and the second referee from Austria, Nino Hobi. Well, joining me, Charlie Broom, in the commentary box for this one. It is the 2000 Olympic gold medalist from the United States of America, Dane Blanton. Dane, introduce us to the four players. Tell us what we can expect from them all and what are their strengths.
Well, first off, you got Schalk. He's the defender. 6'5", 196 centimeters tall. He's one of the bigger defenders. He's solid in the backcourt. He's going to have to be very consistent offensively because a lot of teams have been serving him. His partner, the 28-year-old, 200-centimeter Ben Saxton, one of the more feared blockers on tour. Consistency has been a bit of an issue with him. And if he can be consistent the way he's played throughout this World Championships, they'll have a shot at moving on to the semifinals. On the other side of the net, the 22-year-old, 201 centimeters tall, Loyola Stein. Loyola Stein out of Vienna, Brazil. He is the future for sure. This team, very interesting. Loyola Stein, you'll find him at the net. You'll find him playing defense as well. Very interchangeable team. And somewhat of an experiment. Not many people know if two taller players can make it happen. There's the 210-centimeter tall, 27-year-old Evandro, one of the most feared servers in the world, has won Server of the Year on the FIVB Tour the last 2 seasons, voted by his peers. They are going to try to handle Canada with ripping their serves and stuff blocks at the net. They must win both those categories if they are to be victorious. These teams have met one previous time, with the Brazilians winning. That just took place a month ago in Stade, 15-7 in the third set. So it was a battle, and I expect nothing less here today.
So it was going to be Evandro to get us underway. Straight away, he goes for the big serve. And it's well dealt with.
Yeah, right off the bat, you want to be extremely consistent. Remember, this is day 9 of 10 in these World Championships. So these players have had a very long 9 days, so much competition, and the heat has really been off the charts. And today, it's kind of calmed down. I'd say this is very welcomed weather for the athletes because there's some cloud cover, even some rain sprinkles earlier this morning, but slight breeze, perfect day to play some beach volleyball.
Again, it falls to Schalk. Evandro is there to put it away. It's been an extraordinary World Championships, hasn't it, Dane? It's very diverse. I mean, you've got 8 teams in the quarterfinals, all representing 8 countries. And looking through the stats, I don't think that's ever happened before at the World Champs.
Yeah, never happened before. You're absolutely right. 8 different teams in the quarterfinals. That just goes to show you how much parity there is in the World Tour and how equal some of the teams are. If you don't come to play, we have seen so many upsets this weekend. Of course, #1 seed getting bounced out, the Olympic champions Alisson and Bruno getting defeated early on, and so anything can happen.
Good work from Schalk in the backcourt.
That's a perfect example right there. Evandro and Loyola Stein. Miscommunication right there. That's an easy play. Ball ends up off the face of Andre Loyola Stein. As I said, two tall players. Their strength is not ball control as much as it is power from the back line and blocking up at the net.
So Saxton with the serve then has to make his way up to the net off the attempted block.
Right away, both teams trading blows back and forth. No one really has struck yet. Nothing yet spectacular. When you get out here, you have a 10 o'clock in the morning match. You want to be ready to go. Make sure you get a good sweat going before the match, because if not, you'll come out slow, get yourself in a hole. But you can tell that all four of these athletes ready to go to take their team to that semifinal.
Deep breath from Evandro, and it's another good serve. You can see getting some pace on it, 90 kilometers an hour. 55 mph if you prefer your speed in that measurement. But Canada lead at the first side switch, 4-3.
Remember, for the Brazilians, it's all about blocking, it's all about tough serving. They ripped that serve. Canada was reeling up against it, but a beautiful soft block by Saxton controls it, and Schalk is able to get it to the sand.
So with Schalk. Missed.
Left that ball just a little bit long. There's Schalk, and a tough serve. Gets that approach just slightly off for Loyola Stein, and it's rare that he's going to miss. 5-3 to Canada.
First bit of daylight in the match. Now, Schalk with the serve. Evandro's put the arm through that one.
Evandro, he knows how to bring it. And with that huge 6'11", 210 centimeter frame, has a huge reach, can go up the ladder and really snap it high. Kind of a sketchy pass there by the Canadians, but they're able to recover, and they've been doing that all week long. Whenever they have an errant pass, something a little quick to the net, they're able to better the ball and get it to the position so that the hitter can have a good offensive attack. It's important to go to the right and left of these big blockers of Brazil so not to get stuffed.
Saxton to Andre Loyola, who does well as it comes off the net, and he steadies himself to put away the kill.
Loyola Stein, just 22 years of age. Look at him sacrifice, going to his left. He gets that ball up. Looked like it would have been an ace if he didn't get it. And then a beautiful offense right down the middle, gauging the court well.
Another power serve from Evandro. It's well dealt with by Canada. Saxton puts it away.
Canada doing a really good job of staying poised, staying relaxed, and putting that ball where the defense is not. Loyola and Evandro not going to dig a ton of balls in the backcourt. They're trying to stop you at the net.
Andre again finds the kill. There's a samba going on in the stands behind him. Tactical float serve. Picked up by Saxton and then duly dispatched.
Saxton going down and then putting the ball down. So some really scrappy serve receive. Things could definitely be going the other way, but right now, great ball control by the Canadians. And that has brought them to this 2-point lead. Ben Saxton trying to get going up at the net, but it's so hard to read Evandro as he rips it right down the middle. Look at that reach, Evandro going up. Even Ben Saxton at 6'7" has trouble stopping the 6'11" Evandro. There's the blocking signs to coordinate with your defender. The blocker always gives the sign to the defender so that you're not doubling up on a certain area of the court. So strategic and so important to always be communicating with your partner, not only in between the play, but as the rally progresses.
And this is a desperately tight opening set. And as I say that, it's a second point on serve for Canada, and they move into a 3-point lead.
And they do it with a jump float down the middle. We've seen it so often. The Brazilians need to maybe pinch and protect that middle of the court, not to let that happen again. We also seen that a little bit too much as far as I'm concerned throughout the tournament. You score a point, you put the pressure on the opposition, and then you give it right back by going into the net. Nice cross-court shot. Ben Saxton, when he's on his game, he gets up, he takes a quick look, and he's able to find the open court, making it look really easy. Not challenging Evandro, controlling it just around him.
So Saxton at 11-8. Couple more points till the technical timeout, and he puts another ace down the middle. Well, it was all about, we thought it would be all about Evandro serving in this match, but at the start, it's the Canadians that are coming up with the aces.
Yeah, Canada serving it up, a couple aces already. So if Canada wins that category, it's going to put all sorts of pressure on Brazil, because that is their weapon, service and block, whereas Canada's more about ball control and wearing you down. They are effective at the block and the service, but that is not their entire strength.
Well, we get to the technical timeout with Canada in front by 3, 12 points to 9. And that is a perfect start for Canada. They have the lead. Well, as the players have a chat, let's drop down into the virtual Red Bull Arena and have a look at some stats, Dane.
This is Canada's serve placement right here. They're favoring Andre. You see the two yellow balls in the middle. Those are those aces. And then the red balls have been returned. 56% to Andre, 44% in the middle of the court, and nothing going over to Evandro. Evandro, he can really bring it, and a lot of teams just try to avoid it.
Some peeks through for the first time today. And the Red Bull centre court bathed in sunshine.
For Canada right now, stay consistent. A big knock against this team has been their up and down play. They'll get a lead and then sometimes give it right back. They have to hold on. They've built a nice 3-point cushion here.
Evandro then gets us back underway. Fires it down to Schalk. Good work from Evandro. He steadies himself for the spike. Returned by Schalk. Still advantage to Brazil. And Schalk reads that one too. There's the joust. And there's a net fault anyhow. So Brazil take the point.
Ben Saxton trying to be a little more aggressive, but how about Schalk in the right position there? The second dig, he puts a little close to the net, and Saxton ends up with that left hand touching the top of the net. That's a violation, but quite a rally right there. Impressive defense by Schalk.
And now he's called into offensive mode, and he does well.
That's how you do it right there. We saw in previous matches Schalk with that line shot, but putting it a little too low, and the blocker grabbing it and throwing it back. This time he gets that high shoulder, high elbow, and elevates over Loyola Stein.
Well, obviously studied the tapes from yesterday. He was struggling against Alisson. So far, so good here. More power from Evandro.
Evandro, such a solid player. 9th place finish in the Rio Olympics with Pedro Solberg. Of course, a bit disappointing. He wanted to do better than that. He's won 4 events. 3 of them have been with Pedro Solberg and 1 with Vitor Felipe.
Blocking from Evandro to the back court. Andre points to where he wants it set, and here he comes, and he finds the kill, and that's only the second time they've won a point on serve in this match, Brazil.
And it took a lot of work. You thought Evandro was going to have that block up at the net. Here you see he blocks the ball back to the Canadian side of the net, but Canada covers the situation, and Brazil gets that second opportunity. The drop shot by Loyola Stein is just in front of Kane.
Yeah, nice play from Saxton.
Saxton really looks solid. The Brazilians trying to figure out who might be that weaker player today. Schalk looks sharp, and on that last play, Ben Saxton getting it done.
It was a bit of a tight set, and the Canadians just getting in each other's way, but they work it out just in time, and Schalk is there to just drop it over the net.
Little joust play at the net. And I'll tell you what, the Brazilians, they have to win the net play. Anything up at the net, they have to own it. Even though Ben Saxton's a great blocker, that is the Brazilian strength, and if they can't score points up there, they're going to be in all sorts of trouble.
Good power again. Andre, the side switch. Canada 15-13 up. Edge towards the business end of set 1.
Remember, we play 2 out of 3 to 21. If there's a tie break, it goes to 15. The players you see switching sides at increments of 7. That's so that neither team gets an advantage due to sun, wind, rain, whatever the conditions may be. A lot of times that sun can be a factor. Wind is most important right now. Just a slight breeze as Schalk rips the ball right down the middle.
Corridor of uncertainty between the two. I think Andre thought it might be out, actually. But it was comfortably in.
Yeah, not even close. Bad decision if you're going to let that ball go. I don't think they had a shot at playing it. That was just a really powerful and great place shot.
Okay, to Andre, whose first touch isn't great. And as a result, Saxton can make the block. 17-13. Timeout called by Brazil. They're in trouble at the end of this first set.
Well, finally, someone getting a nice stuff block at the net. Our first block of the match so far, and Canada starting to really run away with this, getting 4 of the last 5 points.
Well, Evandro on the right of screen, a bronze medalist 2 years ago. And well, he's going to have to dig deep if he's going to at least mirror that will go better, but take nothing away from this Canadian pair. As we mentioned, they beat the defending world champions, Alisson and Bruno, in the last round. That is a major scalp for them. And it was only their second win over the Brazilians of Alisson and Bruno. And they've never beaten this Brazilian pair either, but what a result it would be to beat two Brazilian pairs back-to-back for the world champs.
Roll shot right there by Loyola Stein. You know, comparing these two teams, Ben Saxton and Schalk started playing way back in 2013 together. They have 54 FIVB events together. Evandro and Loyola, a new team this year. There's a bad pass over the net, and that may ignite the Brazilians. As I was saying, Evandro and Loyola only have played in 8 events. So a brand new team still trying to work out the kinks, but looking smooth right there with a tough serve by Loyola Stein. Ben Saxton, he's shown that he has that angle shot, making it look easy. This is crossbody right down the line. Evandro has to take more line if that is his call, because it looked like right there he's blocking more angle, and that's exactly where Loyola Stein was. So that left the entire line wide open for Ben Saxton.
Big serve is out. So Evandro needs some specials here. He is already the leader in career races with 72. He needs to add to that tally.
Well, he was all over the foot fault line.
Wasn't he?
Nobody saw it. Not the line judge, not the Canadians. And remember, you can request a challenge in that situation. But on takeoff, on that serve, Evandro looked like he almost tripped over the line.
It from
was
up here, couldn't you?
completely so obvious.
So, huge point. Can Brazil just eke a point back? No, they can't. Evandro too wild with the spike. It's 4 set points, Canada.
So great the way Canada has approached this one. They've limited the unforced errors. They've stayed strong and put pressure on the Brazilians.
Well, the first set point saved with real power.
Loyola Stein not taking any chances on that one. Going up and over big Ben Saxton.
Good block, but it's still with Canada. This for the first set. They take it 21-17. And really, they seemed very composed during that opening set, did Canada. They didn't have too many questions asked of them, but they did the business, and they're in front.
Consistency, it's hard to overcome and play at a top level. You have to be mentally and physically ready every single point, and that's exactly what Canada was. There it is, 21-17. Canada jumping all over Brazil. Remember, Brazil, the number 4 seed. Canada, number 13. 1-0 in blocks and 2-0 in aces. Basically, that's the difference. That'll get you that 21-17 win. So Brazil's going to have to turn that around as we go in the Red Bull Virtual Arena. There's the serve placement of Brazil. Unlike what we saw with Canada, kind of all over the place, definitely favoring Ben Saxton, but he stepped up and answered any questions that the Brazilians gave him.
So, the last remaining Brazilian team in the competition are set down in the quarterfinals. What have they got in the locker in this second set? Can Canada do the business in two? They're going to start it with Schalk. Here we go then, set two.
Nice hit right there. Just to give you an idea, Ben Saxton and Schalk, they've never won a second place in Yokohama in 2015. But looking at their last 5 tournaments, 3 25th place finishes and 2 17th place finishes. And right now, they're in the quarterfinals of the World Championship. So they're playing on another level right now. They're playing above the level that they're accustomed to. And as I mentioned, it's just been a lot of inconsistency. If they could break through here in the World Championships and win their first event, this would be something special.
Wouldn't it just? It would be a real surprise. But they've got to negotiate this second set and possibly a third against a Brazilian side that you know just won't let up. Dig by Saxton, and he gets himself up, but Andre has read it, and now a chance for Andre to put Brazil 3-1 up. And it's the first time Brazil have had daylight in this match.
Yeah, we're so early here in that second set. You know, to contrast that Canadian finishes I mentioned, Brazil was in the top 4 in Stade. They finished in 4th place, and you have to go back to Fort Lauderdale back in February, and they got 2nd place in Fort Lauderdale. So that's why they have that 4 seed in the tournament. And finally, Evandro striking at the net. Brazil looks much sharper here to start out this second set. Defensively, service-wise, and now Evandro gets that block going.
So 4-1 Brazil.
Ben Saxton challenging right there. Evandro trying to funnel to his partner, Loyola Stein, and he does it. But Ben Saxton hit. It really just has a little too much pepper on it.
Andre.
Wow, we had a collision right there. Ben Saxton lands a little bit awkwardly. Hopefully he is okay. He's going to take a minute.
Just on the ankle. Let's have another look.
Looked like maybe that right ankle.
That's exactly what he's feeling.
Well, this can be very dangerous at the net. Here, that right ankle, let's see it. It's kind of blocked by Evandro's knee, but I think that's what Andre hits, that right ankle, and depending on how much it twisted, but it looks like Ben Saxton's okay. Let's see how his offense responds.
Well, we go to Saxton, who takes out his pain on the ball.
Didn't look like he is hampered at all. Hits one of the heaviest balls that we have seen in this match so far after the little collision under the net. So Ben Saxton looks like he's all right.
It's the ideal response from Saxton. And Brazil think he may be injured. They go to him, and he comes up, like you say, with the heaviest hit.
Wow. It's so interesting how when one player starts hitting the ball, it just kind of spreads around the court. This ball ripped at 80.34 kilometers per hour. Andre Loyola Stein, look at his technique. Just a whip of an arm, generating all sorts of power.
Will they go to Saxton again? Yes, they will. This time Saxton. Oh, really good athleticism from Saxton to reach back and play that ball.
But Ben Saxton keeping his balance right there. And remember the first time that these two teams met a month ago in Stade, Brazil won it in 15-7 in the third. So the way things are going right now for Brazil, we may head to a third because they look much sharper than they did in that loss in the first set. They're in command right now, 4-7.
Yeah, they lost the first set in Stade as well, did Brazil. Evandro finds the ace.
Well, it sure took some time. We're here in the second set, and finally Evandro, the best server in the world, strikes. Beautiful cross court, so hard to read. You're almost playing in a defensive stance when he serves because he generates so much velocity. He used to be much more inconsistent. Oh, he's all over the line again. And the line judge this time aggressively waves the flag to get the attention of the head referee. And here it is. You can't touch that line at all. And he absolutely crushes it. No mistake. He's gotten away with a few earlier, as we were speaking about. So he tries to get as close as he can.
Rev up by Andre. Takes it to 9-5 in Brazil's favor. Samba time in the stands. Can they push on here, Brazil? Can Canada eat into this 4-point deficit? Yep, nice work.
Here, Ben Saxton teeing up his partner, Schalk. We call that the option play.
Serve to Andre. Evandro with the set. Andre climbs, but unable to deal with the power. Is Schalk. 10-6 Brazil.
It just feels like more Brazil's pace here. They're peppering balls, hitting aggressively. They look solid at the net. And they're much sharper from the back line. Evandro rolling the dice here with his serve. Again, it looks like he foot fault. Yeah, there's a challenge. See, Schalk saw it. He's going to challenge a foot fault.
Well, now, is it the sand that he kicks up onto the line? When he lands, he pushes sand forward.
Yeah, it can be that in that case.
Is too late.
Now, why is that too late?
He was pretty. It was pretty instantaneous.
Yeah, he called it right away, and referee Juan Carlos Saavedra Caceres has denied the challenge from Canada. There's the foot fault once again. Very blatant right there. If you push the sand on it, no, it's not a fault. But clearly more than that happened right there. And him denying that challenge, because you're supposed to challenge immediately. You couldn't have challenged it any quicker unless you tried to catch the serve, which you're not going to have the wherewithal to be able to do that. So to me, that's just a terrible call right there, not allowing the challenge. They called it basically as quickly as I can see, and maybe we're going to have to get clarification, but I don't know how the Canadians could have called it any quicker. That's disappointing for Canada.
Well, they've called a timeout as a result of that, because they are leading points here at the moment.
What I don't understand is, as blatant as Evandro is footfaulting, why the referee's not watching it. Because we've seen it happen a couple times and play just kind of went on. It's crazy.
Well, so it's 11-6. Now, Evandro, 28 aces now in the tournament. Now, they are challenging. Now they are challenging. I think this was sand.
Challenge by Canada for service foot foul.
So now they have got the challenge away. I think this is sand though. That's sand, that's not foot. Dane, what do you think? That's sand, not foot for me.
That's a foot fault. It's not even close, I don't think. You can't rake the line that much.
But is that not sand being pushed onto the line rather than his foot, or does that?
No, that's a straight up foot fault to me. But the refs, I mean, this is a tough call right here.
Yeah, to me, that's sand being pushed on. His foot doesn't go over on the line.
Yeah, that ball's moving way too much for me, and they're calling no fault, so that is a call you got to go with. But in no world have I ever seen that not be a foot fault. The line, absolutely, the entire line moving, and he's been doing it the entire time. I'd call a challenge every time if I could. Of course, the teams, they have only 2 challenges per set, and if you're incorrect, then you lose those challenges. But if you are correct, then you win them. And Canada coming back right there and getting a point. Been very interesting so far.
Now, can they challenge this disappointment? They are down by 5. Missed. Ducks out the way. Here's Andre. And at the technical timeout, it is the Brazilians that lead by 5, 13 points to 8.
Not aquele pediu challenge.
So, while the players have a chat, I think we're going to drop into the virtual Red Bull Arena to have a look at the Brazil serve placement in the second set.
Yeah, here in the second set, Brazil continues to go the way of Ben Saxton, and in this set, it started to work. Remember, Saxton much more solid in that first set. A couple of aces by Evandro, and that is why this lead has kind of blown open for Brazil, a 5-point lead. It's so hard to return serve of Evandro, hence the reason he's been voted best server the last couple of seasons, because when he gets on a roll, it's like playing defense. It's almost as if he's hitting the ball at the net. The big knock against the serve is he was inconsistent, but he has really become more consistent over time.
Well, he set a record for the most number of aces in a tournament with 30 at the 2015 edition of the World Championships. He's very close to breaking that record in this tournament, and if he wins, he's still got another 2 matches.
Andre Loyola Stein right there, ripping it cross court, and the Brazilians now playing very comfortable. They just seem like they are in their zone, and not a lot the Canadians can do. They've dug themselves quite a hole. Down 5. And Evandro continues to bring it from the back line.
The line judge there was having a really good look at the foot when he came in.
Yeah, for the entire rest of the match, everyone should be taking a look at how close Evandro is. He's pushing his luck. He could step back a couple of inches when he goes to take off, but he is really pushing it.
Good block, but it's picked up, and another good block, but it's still with Canada. And they go cross court from Schalk.
That can get frustrating right there. You see Evandro after the play showing some frustration, because when you get a couple of blocks and neither one of them going down to the sand, it can get very frustrating. Canada converting and putting the ball away. And a play like that can really swing the momentum the other direction. Let's see if Canada can capitalize.
Saxton goes to Andre. Off the Saxton block.
It's been very hard trying to score points for Canada in this second set. That ball high off the block. They seem close, but close doesn't get it done.
Cross court, nicely done. But they need points on serve here, Canada. Schalk goes to the line. And he gets a little run going. Good block. That's one, but they need a load more.
Great move. Look at the left hand of Ben Saxton pressing over the net. If you pull that hand off at all, that ball ends up on your side of the net. Great job by Saxton. Great blocking technique.
Again, they go to Andre with a float serve. Oh, well picked up by Schalk. Now, can he finish? Yes, he can. And that's a couple of points now on serve. And Brazil call a timeout with the lead at 16-13.
Came Schalk starting to feel it right there. You know, Came Schalk and Ben Saxton. This is their actually third world championship for Came Schalk, fourth for Ben Saxton. A fifth place finish was their best in 2013, and they're in a bit of a hole.
Yeah, loser here today will finish fifth. So a chance to better that result for the Canadians, but it looks like it's going to be a one-set shootout, doesn't it, for a place in the next round?
Yeah, it kind of does look like that. Brazil controlling, unless things fall apart, unless Canada's able to manufacture a few points while serving, and we've seen that it can happen quickly if Saxton takes care of things. Came Schalk in the backcourt has to be a little bit more disciplined, hold in his spot, read the hit, and then run, but he's having to deal with a lot of driven balls going right at him. He's got to control it.
Float serve to Andre. Can they get the scoreboard ticking again here? Brazil, no, they can't. That's a third point on serve for Canada.
Beautiful read by Came Schalk in the backcourt. He knows his court well, and he lets that go just out of bounds. But if that was in, he was all over it.
Now, what can they do here? They can find the block. It's still alive. Evandro, it's advantage Canada. This to make it a one-point game. They have done it. Oh, well, we said they needed a run of points and they duly delivered. They get it back to 1, but they still need more because they're still behind on the scoreboard if Brazil side out.
Nice free ball execution by Canada to put that ball away, but it started by their initial defensive set. A late move by Ben Saxton confusing Loyola Stein.
Again, they go to Andre. What can they do here? The little cute shot from Andre Loyola, and it's back to a 2-point game. Right onto the line. So 17-15 to Brazil. Evandro. Service error. Now Saxton to serve. Can he mirror his teammates' run of points over at the second time of asking? Now here is an opportunity. The set too close to the net, but no one was there from Brazil. And they've leveled it up at 17-all. Now did I see Evandro look for a challenge for a net fault, but he doesn't seem to have gone through with it.
Give Canada all sorts of credit right now, taking complete advantage of every opportunity, and they were up against it, down 16-12, and that's when they really started to catch some fire. Now it's about completing it. The pressure for sure swinging to the Brazilians, down a set. They have to get a good pass right now, run a solid offense, and get the serve back.
Again, they go to Andre. Can he find his game? He can.
That right there is an amazing hit. That's set about 7 feet off the net, and Andre Loyola Stein, the 22-year-old, makes it look easy. Going right down the line from that far off the net. And that's a big point for Brazil.
So, Andre serving, 18-17. Cross court, good power.
This is a big test for the Canadians because this is where a lot of times they don't close the door on teams. They have the momentum, they have the one set on their side, and now you're talking about a game to 3 points. You got to get that 2-point margin, of course, but they have to be solid.
Antenna, well, he's going to say they need a point on serve because they will still be chasing the scoreboard if Brazil sided out, but they deliver, and now they're in front. The turnaround, incredible. Brazil led 16-10.
Really great hit on the right side by Loyola Stein, but that last serve did some damage and ended up on the antenna and out of bounds. So some tough serving by Canada. 82.05 kilometers per hour by Andre Loyola Stein, bringing it right there. And if you're Canada, just settle down, deep breath, get a good pass, run your offense, get to 20, and that would put all the pressure in the world on Brazil. Everybody watching the foot of Evandro here.
Big serve from Evandro. He doesn't balk despite the pressure situation, and then he comes up with a big block. What a massive play from Evandro. A really brave serve, followed up by an excellent block.
Give Evandro all sorts of credit, ripping the serve, getting to the net, forming the block, and executing. Brazil 1 point away from pushing this thing to a third.
So, again, he stands at the start of his run up and goes for a big serve. Takes a little bit of power off it, but aims at Saxton. Saxton climbs into that one, an arch of the back, and then the release.
Yeah, if this team from Canada wants to take it to the next level, if they want to win tournaments, they have to be solid in these situations. It's one thing doing it midway through a set or getting a 5-point lead and winning a set, but when the pressure's on, can you execute? And right now, they have a huge opportunity at hand.
Evandro with the set. Cute from Andre, and it's a second set point.
Ben Saxton, after that play, is arguing that Loyola Stein is under the net and he's interfered with him exploding. Here's a look at it. Right there, slight collision under the net, but nothing drastic at all. Looked like Loyola Stein stayed on his side of the net. Saxton probably just felt the contact, and since earlier, remember the collision, that he might have had a little twisted ankle, he might be a little more sensitive to the issue.
So here we go then, second set point. There's a long way off the net. Opportunity here for Brazil, no, because Evandro puts it over the net. He's there with the block, it's kept alive. Oh, what a play by Schalk, still there, but Brazil take the second set, and it slips through Canada's grasp, and we go to a third. The Brazilian fans are loving that point.
Brazil winning there, but the fashion that they won is kind of insulting. Owning the net, just crushing it. The Canadians cover once, but Evandro says, you know what, I'm not going anywhere, and he puts up another huge block. They try to cover it, both of them awkwardly fall to the ground, and they know that the set is over. And look at the emotion, the fire coming from Evandro. He knows what it takes to get to the top. 4 World Tour victories under his belt. He has been to this position before, got a 3rd place in The Hague in 2015 in the World Championships, and he has turned his game up tremendously. All looking pretty even right there. 3 for 3 with aces as we go in the Red Bull Virtual Arena. Here's the spike placement for Brazil. Yellow is a winner, and you see a lot of those to the left side, those winners, and some to the middle of the court. They're spreading it around quite a bit. I thought Canada played well, but in the clutch, they could not execute.
So here we go then, third set shootout, and it's going to be Schalk who gets it underway. Brazil take the lead. Well, Saxton and Schalk have got to do something they haven't done all year. They're 0-4 in 3-set matches before Vienna. And, well, they've taken 3 from 3 here. So they've really we talked about it earlier, didn't we, how their finishes in tournaments coming into this wasn't great. But they've suddenly found something. They found their mojo here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy being completely kind of terrible in third set matches up until Vienna. Now they're starting to own it. So maybe they're getting a little more comfortable. And very interesting. Some teams play very different when they get to that third set.
Yes, baby.
Good work. Two 2-1 Brazil.
Third set just to 15 points. Another solid play. Oh, that's an error right there. And Evandro takes out the pole with frustration right there. But you play to 15 in the third, switch on increments of 5, a little quicker than when we're playing to 21 in the first 2 sets. No technical timeout, so no real relief, but each team does have 1 timeout. and pretty even so far.
So here we go then. Schalk to Andre, as always, good blocking. But they get a second bite of the cherry to Brazil, and they don't make an error.
Nice block. Saxton says he doesn't touch it initially, but I think he did get a piece of it. And Loyola Stein saying, come on, man. Don't say you didn't touch the ball when you did. There's been a little jine in between, through the net, between Loyola Stein and Ben Saxton.
Off the net.
A challenge.
Challenge coming for the foot fault.
Wait. This is hilarious. Now, why is this challenge being allowed?
Challenge by Canada for service foot
And
fault.
that first challenge was not, because this was even more delayed than the challenge that was denied. And Evandro's saying the same thing. He's like, come on, that's way too late. Canada went to make a play on the ball, and once they didn't make the play on the ball, came Schalk, smart, and he went and challenged it. Now, this looks like it's not going to be called a fault either.
Well,
really, the challenge referees are getting their money's worth. I hope they had their coffee this morning.
well, let's see. The last challenge was called not a fault, wasn't it? Because it was deemed it was more sand than foot.
You're
It's
exactly
a difficult
right.
one because you can't say the foot lands, but then it slides. It slides. Does it go under and come back out? You can't tell. But look at the divot mark to the right. You can see why it's been called a no fault now.
I like that right there. I think the call that was made was correct. The only thing I question is, why did the ref deny Canada a challenge early on, and then he allowed it that time when they took longer to even motion for the challenge? So a lot going on here on the first match of the day on Saturday, day number 9 of the World Championships.
And there's another service ace from Evandro. Timely makes it 5-2, and timeout called by Canada.
Evandro on fire, 5 service aces.
He has, and that takes or sets a new record for most aces in a tournament as well. Beating his 30 from the Netherlands, from The Hague 2 years ago.
And now his total is
32, I believe.
Yeah, I think officially we're at 33. Is that has just ticked up, that 33. 5 in this match, 33 aces on the tournament. Great stat there, Charlie, and an all-time tournament record for Evandro, and we're in the quarterfinals. He's got a long way to go.
Yeah, it's 31st ace. There's been 2 from Andre. So
okay, so officially in the book, sorry about the confusion. Evandro, 31 aces on the tournament, 5 here in this match alone.
that one's long. It's close. It's close. He's thinking about it. Probably too late to challenge now, though.
You never know. That ball's called out of bounds, and now it's time for Brazil to challenge. They think there was a touch on the block. Remember that each team gets 2 challenges per set. If you're correct in your challenge, you retain those challenges. So basically you can have unlimited challenges if you're always right. If you're incorrect, you lose them. You can challenge ball in or out, block touch, net fault, antenna touch, or foot fault at service, which we've seen so many times. So the Hawkeye system is in effect, And the challenge referee is taking a look. There's the touch on the right hand of Ben Saxton. So Loyola Stein and Evandro were on point in their call, and they will achieve the point. So much going on here.
6-3 Brazil. And it's with Andre at the back of the court on the right-hand side. Off the block of Evandro. Andre keeps it alive, still with Canada though, the momentum. And Andre is there again. Evandro makes good ground. And it's just passed back over the net, so Canada's still in control of the rally. Can they finally make it touch or count? They do because of the touch. 4-6.
Important for Canada to hang in there right there. Good patience. Getting that point extremely important. You do not want to get in too much of a hole in this sprint to 15 points. It goes by very quickly, and you can't afford to have many unforced errors. 6-4 Brazil.
Evandro sending it more in the middle, and Andre goes down the line. That was a good set from Evandro because he was having to move at pace, wasn't he?
Yeah, really nice right there, avoiding the block. Brazil's done a pretty good job keeping Ben Saxton quiet. He can catch fire as a blocker. Too tight.
Well played by Andre.
Those little things. Setting the ball 6 inches too tight to the net gives an open window for Loyola Stein to take advantage. And Canada is in a little bit of trouble here, trailing by 4. If they don't start to turn it around quickly, this is going to be it.
They need another one of those runs, don't they, that they had in the second set, but they need it now. Off the net and wide. Yeah, in the first set, the run came when they were 10-16 down. That'd be too late in this set. Tried to turn it up on the serve, but it's into the net by Saxton.
Oh my goodness. A double contact is being called on Canada. Schalk needs to watch out there. He said, give me a yellow card right there, why don't you? And we excuse the expletives that we heard as well, but Schalk, I think within his rights right here. That did not look like a double contact. It's a judgment call for the ref. When you overhand set, it's got to come out clean, and it can't be 2 contacts, but the ref thought otherwise.
Saxton climbs through that one.
And you know why I have an issue with that, Charlie, is that it's consistency from the referee position. We've seen that set many times throughout the match. How does all of a sudden it become a double contact? And that's why Schalk was so disappointed, and it's a crucial time. It's almost like they're hanging on by their last thread, and then that happens, and nothing you can do.
No, like you say, it's a harsh call. Cross court from Andre. And this is looking ominous now for Canada, if it wasn't already. Big serve, chase down, but they can't keep it alive, and it's a 6-point lead, and that surely is big enough.
You know, it really looked like Canada was poised to do something special. Remember at the end of the second set, in complete control, controlling their destiny, just had to side out a few more times, and they just couldn't step up when they needed to, which was unfortunate for them. And Brazil has seized complete control of this match, just 3 points away from eliminating Canada.
Well, it's a long way off the net this set, but they adapt well, and Saxton draws the deflection off the Andre block.
Expectations so important when you go into a match like this. You gotta believe that you can win, and there's the belief right there by Ben Saxton getting up and over the net. But of course the question is it too little, too late? Wow, it's been an exciting first match, to say the least. Had a little chippiness between the net. We've seen a lot of controversy with different calls, the whole foot faulting incident, and a lot of back and forth with momentum. But Brazil in the driver's seat now.
Serve by Saxton to Andre, who goes down the line and edges Brazil closer to a spot in the semi-finals of the 2017 edition of these Beach Volleyball World Championships.
Yeah, and this will be big. Evandro and Loyola Stein have only been in the semifinals twice in 2017, getting a second and a fourth, so they'd love to get a victory here at the World Championships.
Well played from Canada.
And it's pretty academic from here. The Brazilians, they just need to receive serve twice to get to that 15-point. For Canada, Ben Saxton would have to catch absolute fire up at the net, or came Schalk defensively, if they're going to turn this thing around.
Well, it's Schalk with the serve, and they've gone to Evandro. Evandro from off the net, kept alive. They back over. Andre will have a chance to make it 5 match points, and he does.
I really like the fire from Andre Loyola Stein, the 22-year-old, gaining confidence every time he steps on the court. He's got 1 victory under his belt, and he's competing in his first World Championship. He knows what this means. He knows how important that point was. And you see the one finger he puts up. We need 1 more point to advance to the medal round.
Well, will it be an Evandro ace? He's put an extra yard on the run up here. Puff of the cheeks. Here we go. Straight out Schalk. Schalk to rescue the first of the 5 match points. He does. And, well, here we go. It's now or never. He needs a run of 4 points. Does Ben Saxton? To Andre. Off the block, and it's there. Brazil are in to the semi-finals, and they will play for a medal. But the question is which colour. They run to their coaching staff in the stand and celebrate. Congratulations to them. Real disappointment for Canada. And really now, Brazil need to go to the net. They need to shake hands. They need to do it properly. You should shake hands, then go to your coaching staff?
No, I don't agree with that. They are fired up. They're going to go down. They're sportsmen. They'll shake hands. But they're so excited when you work so long with your coaches and you get to this point. You don't see it very often, but they went straight to it. And you better believe that Evandro and Loyola Stein, they make sure they go over and shake the hands as they do. They're doing that right now. We're taking a look at that final point right high off the block. And you see the joy immediately. And why? Well, we told you there was 8 different countries in the quarterfinals. What does that mean? Andre Loyola Stein and Evandro, they're the last Brazilian duo. They're the only chance for Brazil to raise that flag here at the World Championships, and they can taste it right now as they move one step closer. Sometimes when that emotion takes over, you can't control, you can't plan it, and look at the excitement. Everyone feeling it there.
So Evandro, a bronze medalist 2 years ago, he'll have at least a shot at that, but should he win his semi-final, then of course he's guaranteed a medal. And they will play the winners of our next match, the Martin van Garderen and Christian Barenhorst match against Pablo Herrera or Adrian Guevara of Spain. But Brazil are still alive in this competition. It was desperately close. They've won it by 2 sets to 1, 17-21. 22-20, 15-10. Here are the stats. And wow, it was close, but they got there.